Welcome to God's Way YTVY. Hello everyone. We have a terrific show lined up for you. But first let me tell you we have some wonderful guests tonight. I'm Adolphina Shephard. This is my co-host Thomas Knights Templar.
Good evening.
We have something you've probably never seen on TV before tonight. We have fantastic Master Channel of the Hierarchy of Light here, Brigitte Boyea. And along with that, we have a wonderful celestial healer through music, Mike Synder. And together they work together to just put you into this meditative state where you can soar, let's say, with the angels to go through the portal to talk to Father God, or through the portal to talk to Jesus, or through the portal to talk to Saint Germain. So I'm going to turn it over to Brigitte and ask her to tell us a little bit about herself so that you get a better understanding of just what's going to transpire. But stay peeled because it's going to be great. Go ahead, Brigitte.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here tonight, for us to be here tonight. And the connection of working with the Hierarchy of Light is such a beautiful gift that I received through my life, through going through my own transformation. Being born and raised in Germany, my family really put that power of love into my seed and as a foundation, because love is really the true tool of healing. I mean, you can use all the healing modalities there are out there, but at the core, it is the power of love. It is the true essence of bringing forth that compassion, that ability to forgive, that ability to move beyond the limitations into a liberated state of beingness. And so throughout my life, I've gone through my fair share of transformation, through my fair share of dark nights of the soul, just like everyone else, whether it was physically, emotionally, mentally. But through that, I really learned the rhythm of transformation, the power of transformation. And interestingly enough, looking back, every time it got a little bit easier. It got a little bit faster, a little bit better, and I could see, or now looking back, I can see that it is actually something very beautiful. And we certainly are living in this profound time of change.
Yes.
And the master that picked me, because I can truly say I didn't go out seeking Saint Germain, he kind of went out seeking me. The master that I work with is mostly Saint Germain. I work with other masters and angels, but Saint Germain has been my teacher. He really is the one who taught me how to become a channel too, how to align myself. And so I'm really excited to have this opportunity once again for us to bring the message of the divine through that is always connected to very much healing energy, love, heart opening, energy attunements. So when we are gathered here like this, it's a lot more than just about sharing who we are. There are all these angelic and master teams present right now working through all of us and seeking to remind everyone who's listening to this that they are also divine channels and instruments of the Hierarchy of Light. So it really is about remembering that you are an instrument of something so much greater, and that's what tonight is really about, to remind you that you're part of something greater. And so that's why I'm excited to be here right now.
When did this all come about for you?
When
did this all come about for you?
Well,
what age? Were you a child, or?
You know, it has given to me through my heritage too. I mean, it's in my lineage on my mother's side as well as on my father's side. They were psychic. Yes.
Okay.
My grandaunt was a medium, and there are stories about my grandfather on my mother's side really having psychic abilities and having been able to have prophetic visions and things like that. So that certainly has helped. But from a little girl on, I had my imaginary friends that I worked with that already were ascended masters. Nobody knew that they were real. For me, they were very real. I had certainly, you know, angels, my guardian angel I always worked with. And I'm really grateful for my family. My parents very much put values into me, like be and let be. You know, and don't do something to someone that you don't want to be done to you. And they were very much open to this deeper understanding of the deeper mysteries of life. So
gave
they
you the
allowed me,
ground- the ground-
yes,
yeah, the ground and the
yes,
foundation.
yes.
That's really
I mean,
good.
my mom is a Reiki master, and my sister is into Reiki and therapeutic therapy. And my father, he loves it when I channel Saint Germain. He keeps his hand open. It's like, oh my God, I can feel Saint Germain. So my family is very open to that. That was a great foundation.
Yes, I love
for
it.
me.
I love it.
Yes.
The purple I could do without, but I love it. You know.
You know, that
yes.
really is wonderful. I think you're one of the few people I've
Yes.
ever talked to that their family was very
Yes.
supportive in the work they did. I mean, I know when I stepped onto my path, I think my family thought I lost my marbles.
Yes.
But you know, it's more, I think it's really more a case of coming into maturity, spirituality, in a lot of our cases, you know. And so, but you were very lucky to be surrounded like that with
Yeah.
that support.
You had a good foundation.
Yeah.
It really wasn't until I came to this country that I was able to see how tough family life can be, and how lucky I was. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, all right then. Well, we're going to talk to Mike now.
Okay.
So, Mike, talk about yourself a little bit. Tell us what you do.
Okay. Well, actually, what I'd like to start off with while we're on the subject is I also am very grateful that I've had a supportive family to get
how
on this
nice.
path. Because I actually started very young, maybe around 19 or 20. I had a spiritual mentor, a woman who was very talented. Even years ago, she had even worked with Edgar Casey at one time. So she has since passed a few years ago, but she did amazing spiritual healing classes and a lot of the things that we cover even today. So I'm very grateful to get that early start. But basically, I do intuitive music healing. And that began for me, I'd say 15, 20 years ago. I've always had some kind of electric keyboard or some kind of musical instrument. And I've always just played for my own enjoyment. And I tried taking lessons, but it never agreed with me. And so I always played intuitively to what made me feel better, what helped raise my vibration. So in the beginning, I didn't really understand the power of it or what was happening. And then I'd say about 10, 12 years ago, I met Brigitte and a lot of other close friends of mine going to some New Age gatherings. And I shared what I did with the music with them, and they encouraged me to bring it out to other people. And it's been a wonderful journey ever since because, I mean, the power that I felt in it for myself, other people were feeling the power in it as well.
You get directed by someone on the other side to play
I
certain
do,
notes?
especially when Brigitte and I do a lot of different meditation classes together. And I am very highly guided as to how loud to play or what kind of instrument to play at what moment, because I can feel the vibrations of the people in the room. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know if you remember, but I mean, I've come to a few of them at
Yes, you
various
have.
times.
Yeah.
And do you remember I came up to you and tell you something very odd that was occurring?
I think maybe you
I'm
can
gonna
refresh my
remind you,
memory.
All right, well, what happened then was
That was a test question.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I know
Hopefully there's more.
you're probably pretty high by the time you're done playing
Oh,
the
it's
music,
very hard
right?
to hold the conversation.
So
yes.
yeah, so I'm sure. So, but I remember as I was in this meditative state, I felt my head going in this really weird way that it never did before.
Oh, I remember
and
that now.
having
Yes.
neck problems.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, is this going to hurt me or help me? But you know what? It kind of like did something. It helped. But I didn't think my neck could move in that kind of a way. I mean, even if
you're
I
moving
consciously,
like
kind of
this?
like, kind of. It was very weird.
Were you
you
doing
know?
that Egyptian thing?
Almost, Tommy, almost. You know, but it was interesting.
But that you actually have that when you bring a lot of energy in, that your body starts moving. And you see people who channel that, and I sometimes do that there's a certain movement, and it makes it easier for your physical body to integrate the higher frequencies,
Well,
because it is really coming into your body.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
yeah,
I'm doing
I
the
know.
healings like that.
Yeah.
My hands pulse, and I find myself rocking with the person.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because that was very strange, because
Yeah.
never when I meditated or listened to music before did my head move in that weird way.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
couldn't even demonstrate it if I wanted to
Yeah.
right
It's
now,
hard if it
you
starts
know?
moving laterally.
Yeah.
I saw that in The Exorcist. I don't know.
Oh, Lordy.
We don't want to have a demonstration of that right
Yeah, no.
Pea soup, please.
But I think Mike's going to talk about the bowl. He plays the bowl.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, too.
Yeah, so what we'll get into later, over on that side of the desk later, we'll see the electric keyboard piano that I play. But one of the other instruments I do play is this singing bowl. This particular singing bowl is tuned to F which coordinates with the heart chakra. So every time Brigitte and I start a meditation, we start by playing this bowl, and usually sometimes even going around the room and playing it for people, because it actually, the vibration of it not only kind of enters the heart, it also helps clear the mind. And that's one of the most important things when you go into a meditation, is to get a clear mind space. So I don't know if we'll be able to hear it. I will be playing it in front of the microphone there later. But this particular bowl is one of my favorites. It's made of 7 metals is what they call. And there's all sorts of different types you can get, but this is called a Tibetan singing bowl. You're probably familiar. You've probably seen some of the big crystal ones, like when you had Mother Theosophia, when she was on before. So.
Well, I have a small one like that, and I use it when I have a gathering too, and it clears the space. And it helps, and I really like the sound of it too. You know, it has a different ring than the glass ones do.
It does.
Definitely.
Yeah, they are different sounds. Yeah.
You know, going back to that, you were talking about when you took music lessons. You know, I would imagine that it really wouldn't work for you because you're doing intuitively guided music.
Yes.
And the way they teach you in music is very regimented, right?
Correct.
And so there was no room for you to be intuitive in music training.
Yeah, that's
right?
correct. Yeah, because when I went through grade school and high school, I was in the choirs and different things like that. But I've always found, you know, I played trombone and things like that when I was younger. But when I found that every time I had to read a score or try to play music by the rules, so to speak, it didn't work for me. I would sit there and whatever emotion that I felt, and play music to it, and it would make me feel better.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I've kind of perfected that.
That was with no formal training? You just,
That's correct, yeah. Like I said, the only kind of training I had was just your basic kind of elementary school choir or playing the trombone.
I mean, I pick up a guitar. I love guitar. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I pick it up. I sit there. I strum it. I can't play.
Yeah.
Nothing's come through to make me play.
Yeah.
But if you could turn that on tonight, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Now, do you sing at all?
Most of my singing is chanting, and sometimes, especially at some of the events that Brigitte and I hold, we'll have maybe towards the end a little session where everybody can join in chanting, you know, depending what the event is.
Yeah.
And that's so amazing because the chanting really, the voice, it really opens up your body, and you're your own musical instrument. The vibrations, you know, really open you up.
Yeah. Well, Tommy here likes to sing. He has a pretty good voice. Maybe
are you going to
you
sing
could
for
get
us tonight?
together.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Oh, wow.
So also you record CDs of your music, right?
Yeah, so basically there's 2 different ways that I do that. One particular way is I offer personalized healing sessions. And so when I have a client, I have a healing table that they lay down on. The session lasts about 30 minutes. And I have a special pair of noise-canceling headphones that my client wears. And I also wear headphones. So I play the music on the piano that I'm spiritually guided to for that particular person. So everybody I work on, the music's different. And at the same time, I'm recording that on my computer. So when the session's complete, they have a CD to take home.
Yeah, you did that for me one time.
Yes, I
Years
remember.
and years and
In
years
Reading, I
ago.
believe it was,
Yeah,
yes.
Do they come in to see you with a specific problem that they want to address, or do you, or does the music guide to address a problem they don't even know they have?
Yeah, for me, it's usually people don't come with a direct issue, because the way I advertise myself as to what I do with the music healing sessions is I kind of put it out generally and say it's for your own relaxation, it's for your own peace to help you sleep at night, you know, however you choose to use the music to further yourself. So the benefit can be many different ways for people to just relax. But for some people that are more open to spirit guides, you know, I usually do before the session bring through a spiritual message, similar in the way that Brigitte would in the session, but usually my messages are usually like 4 or 5 minutes, you know, before we start.
Yeah.
But if you'd like, I also talk about the second part of the CDs, and these are ones that I put out for anybody for general listening. And now this particular one here, this is called Emergence. Brigitte and I actually worked on this together. She held the energy. And she held a very, very sacred energy while I played this music, and that's how we created the CD. And we created the CD Emergence right as it broke into springtime this year, and we know how rough that winter time was.
Yeah.
And so it was the perfect time because everybody was emerging from, you know, 4 weeks of ice, at least here in the Northeast.
4 weeks of ice?
Yeah.
It was probably longer than that.
It went into May.
Yeah.
4 weeks of ice.
Well, you know, the more you talk and the more I realize, because I've been in your meditations with Brigitte, and I realize that it's really a co-joining of the energies that make it so powerful.
Yes, very much so. It's very much a team effort.
Yeah.
And we've seen that more and more with the CDs too, because in the beginning it was really just Mike doing the CDs, and now we're seeing that there's a joint venture in there too.
Is Saint Germain guiding the music?
You know, it's not really just Saint Germain.
Well, there's other Saint Masters too, you know.
In this particular case, I felt very much all of the Ascended Masters stepping in at some point. And at some point I even thought, oh my God, I hope the music stops soon, because the intensity of all the Masters really coming through and wanting to bring a piece of themselves into this music, because it's supposed to reach so many different people. And not everybody is connected to the same master, the same guide. So it's much further reaching that way.
Right. Yeah, and it's one person to hold all that energy, or two people. That's a lot for all the Ascended Masters.
Well, I was really appreciative that she did this project with me, because CDs I've made in the past. I also have one called Inner Peace and several other ones that I have on my website, and I also have our class recordings on the website. Yeah. But the ones that I did myself, I mean, it took me like a good day to recover, because I held the energy myself.
Oh, right.
But this one, with both of us working on it energetically, the frequency, this is probably my best work ever in the 10 years I've been doing this, and I was just blown away. So we're actually going to be working on further new ones in the future.
Yeah. Now, you guys have a radio show too, right?
Yes, we do. Once a month, it's usually the second Tuesday evening of the month, but it's recorded, so it doesn't really make it.
You can listen to it anytime.
Yeah, you can listen to it anytime on Blog Talk Radio.
Blog Talk,
spiritualconnectionsradio.com, right? Spiritualconnectionsradio.com. And it's a beautiful other way of bringing the divine messages out into the world. And it's been a lot of fun, you know. It's really different every time. It's not always Saint Germain coming through. I mean, he likes to be the main star, but sometimes it's different archangels. Yes, I know.
You never know,
but sometimes it's archangels, and we also had Jesus coming through for one of his higher aspects, Ananda. So it differs, and it's fun to do it. There's also a part where Mike plays his music. It's a little bit more difficult, because what we really like to do is to join our energies. So with the radio, you can't really do it as well.
Right.
You can do it more in open events.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I figure at the time we have now, you have 25 to 30 minutes to kind of get your show on the road. You guys want to get started?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saint Germain is already anxious. Don't forget about me.
Well, while Mike undoes himself there.
May I just say one thing about Saint Germain, though? For those who are not familiar with Saint Germain, and I think this is really important, is that what tonight is about the power of transformation. And what you're receiving here tonight is about an alignment that is allowing you to make it easier to go through the changes that we are all experiencing right now on so many levels. This intensity that is going on in our lives. And Saint Germain is the master of transformation. He's very much watching at this time over this whole process that really was especially triggered at December 21st, 2012, and is continuing to bring about a new consciousness, to bring about a new paradigm. And all of us are very much in this place of letting go of old belief systems, breaking down old structures that no longer serve us. And it can be very uncomfortable, and nobody really likes change so much. So tonight, Saint Germain really wants to support those who are watching in this process of trusting and having faith that there is a greater plan, and you're all part of it, we are all part of it, and that it's okay, that in the end it all works out. We just have to have trust and faith.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. So we usually start with Mike doing an opening too, and then Saint Germain will come through when he's done. Greetings. I am Saint Germain, and it is with so much love that I come before you at this time of great transformation. And it is continuing to do so. Running away from change is not going to help you. All of you have chosen to be here at this time to assist humanity, to assist Earth in the awakening process, in the ascension process, in the great shift to a new consciousness. All of you are playing a role in this. Yes, there were many predictions about great, great Earth changes that could be seen in destructive forces. And yet, every single one of you has taken on some of that shaking of the Earth within your own self. You've been willing to go deep within, facing some of your own inner demons, inner darkness, to transform and transmute it into love and light. You've become alchemists to support the process here on Earth at this time. So if you ever wonder why you are here, you're here to be exactly who you are right now. And so the power of love and the power of the compassion within you and your willingness to not run away from that part within you that feels so afraid to open up, but to continuously work on that vulnerable side and being willing to bring spirit down into you over and over again, recognizing that you are the Holy Grail. You are the Holy Grail that holds spirit within you. As an aspect of God's source creator, all that is, it is for you to anchor this higher frequency on Earth at any moment in time that you're willing to do so through the power of love. And so tonight, or whenever you're guided to see this, now that this is just furthering, preparing you to open up your heart, to who you are. Many of you know of the importance of December 21st, 2012. And it is continuing through years like 2015, which brings the vibration of 8 into the consciousness of many, that spirit continuously touches matter. Your divine self continuously touches your physical self to bring about change, to bring about an opening that is necessary for the new frequencies, for the new consciousness, the new paradigm to be anchored here on Earth at this time. So what we will do here tonight is to deepen your connection to the cosmic heart. And this is in preparation for what many are looking for as another time of great purging at the next new moon. But consider that at this point, you must recognize that the body is a representation of the Earth, and the Earth is a representation of the body. And the same with the moon being a representation of the soul, and the soul being a representation of the moon. And the sun representing your spiritual self. And so recognize that there is a direct relationship always between you, the moon, and the sun. In the ancient times, that was well known and it has long been forgotten. But if you work with this alignment and let it not work against you, you will find that the transformation and the intensity you're feeling is becoming less painful, because you recognize the only fear that you have is to look deep to that what you're afraid to release, what you still want to control. If you're willing to allow yourself to go through the flow of changes, to flow with the river of life instead of wanting to control it and wanting to know what's ahead of you, you will find that there's a rhythm, an in-breath and an out-breath, an expansion and a contraction, day and night. There's a rhythm. There's a rhythm that puts you into activity and that pulls you back into inactivity. And if you learn to work with these rhythms, then the dark night of the soul, when you feel cocooned within the darkness of not knowing, does not become so uncomfortable. No, in reality, you realize this is an absolutely necessary step on the path of transformation, a necessary step for you to give birth to a new light, to give birth to a new consciousness. It is part of the ascension process. And so you can rest assured when you meet adversity and when you see relationships end and new relationships opening up, that it's safe. As you change, the outer world must change too. So do not be afraid when sometimes it appears that the tower of life is crumbling around you, but know that it is necessary for the new light to come out and be seen, for your new divine essence to find an expression in the physical realm. So now that you are part of something greater, and when there's a new moon, it is about new beginnings. And when there's a full moon, it is about going deep and looking at your emotions, looking at your soul, and rechecking how you choose to define yourself. And so, just like the soul is the intermediary to your spirit, the moon becomes a bridge to your spiritual self or to the solar self of your own self. And so all of these understandings will help you to deepen your connection to God, Source, Creator, all that is not just outside of you, but also within you. And so I will take you now on a little journey to connect you with your cosmic heart. Because just like you have a physical heart, you also have a very cosmic heart. You are so much more than your body. And so it is important for you to acknowledge that every day when you feel that your human self is creating doubt and is questioning your past. Remember, you are part of something greater, something so much vaster. And when Spirit touches you and creates all that chaos in your life, it is only the necessary process to release what no longer serves you. So at this time, allow yourself to take a few deep breaths. And with every out breath, go deeper within your own inner self, deep within your heart, deep within your sacred temple. That's right. And for one moment, remember that there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to prove to anybody that you're worth loving. You can just be in this moment, in your own heart. Just be. And as you are within your heart, feel the calling of your soul. And allow yourself to go even deeper. Simply let yourself fall into the vastness of who you are and let your soul call you to its beautiful presence. And as it calls you, you feel your consciousness lift out of your body, out of this place where you're sitting at the time, up and above, beyond the room, beyond the building, beyond the city. And you feel the liberation of being free within your soul body, lifting up. But before you raise further into the higher realms, I want you to look at Earth as you envision it with your inner eye. And we want you to become aware of the Earth also having a heart, having a crown, having a root chakra, having feet. And so many of you will experience on September 13th of this year, a very unique alignment. It is in that alignment that there's a partial solar eclipse seen at the root, at the south pole of the Earth. And so many of you are going right now through experiences that are affecting your physical self, a purification, a purging. Do not be afraid of that. Your physical self, Earth, is asking you to pay attention to your body, because your body is the vessel. It is the Holy Grail that will hold the higher frequencies that will come through on September 13th within your own inner self, so that you become a channel and instrument of the cosmic heart. As the moon and the sun create not only a figure 8, but as they come together, as the moon moves in front of the sun and creates the shadow, it is as though as two spheres merging together, the masculine and the feminine. It is about sacred union. And so it is also about the sacred union within your own self. So as I ask you now to reach up further into the lunar consciousness, becoming one with the consciousness of the moon, allow yourself to feel the feminine aspect within you. And there within all of you, not just within the women, within all of you. There's a part of you that's receptive, that's open, that is willing to wait, the intuitive side. And as you feel that receptivity, as you feel your psychic ability opening up even further, and you feel that balance between the earth on one side and the sun on the other side, you can acknowledge that you too are such a bridge, an intermediary between heaven and earth. And so now I invite you to reach out, reach up and reach out and bring the solar energies into the lunar energies. And allow the masculine and the feminine to merge within you, within your consciousness, touching each other in sacred union. Feel that love. And through that union, a portal is opened, a doorway that can allow you to reach up even further, further upwards into the galactic heart, into that oneness consciousness. So allow your consciousness to be lifted up further and further to become one with the galactic heart. Don't be afraid of the immensity of such love. You're not going to lose it again. You're not going to be separated from it again. It's time for you to bring this cosmic love back to your physical self. It is time for you to say yes to you and who you are and the beautiful vibration of love that you are. So when you bring it down now, when you bring that cosmic love out of the heart of the cosmic center down, through the portal of the sun and the moon merged into oneness, when you bring it down in through your physical crown into your heart right now, don't be afraid. Allow yourself that vulnerability. You cannot move forward in your life without allowing yourself to be vulnerable again. It is the only way to the experience of the type of love that you're so much yearning for. Allow it in. Feel your body being filled up with that cosmic love. That is the only reason why you're going through all of these challenges in your life. Because you're so afraid of that type of love, that you're sabotaging yourself and you're creating the illusion of separation. Oh, my dear friends and fellow lightworkers, you're not separate. You are that love in action. Let it infuse you. Let it become your guide in the days ahead. You are so ready for this love. It is a love far beyond what you've ever experienced. And you are the portal. You are the gateway. You are the bridge. All in your unique form or way. Do not compare yourself with others. You are unique and you must be unique for that of what you are anchoring here on earth. You want to know what the power of transformation is? You are the power of transformation. You, as a channel of this cosmic love that you're willing to bring forth into the world whenever you choose love over fear. Whenever you bring hope where there's despair. Whenever you are a beacon of light, shining upon the ways of others, reminding them that there is another way, out of the darkness into the light.
We only got 10 minutes.
My love and my support is with all of you on this path of enlightenment, of awakening, of remembrance, remembering that you truly are a divine self, a divine being, I am Saint Germain, and I'm with you always as a friend. Blessings to you. And it is so. Namaste.
Well, are you awake?
I feel
Getting there.
Barely back.
Barely.
Barely back. It usually takes me a little longer, but I thought maybe I shouldn't take that much time.
took the subway.
Yes.
I can use some water.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing that I think is important here is the fact that this is up-to-date information. You know, so many people look back at these outdated prophecies and so much has changed in 2,000 years or more, and the consciousness of mankind has risen. And there's a lot of people out there spreading misinformation or fear that we have to be wary of. And so when you hear Saint Germain and his channel Brigitte here, know that this is truth and know that it is current, and have no fear. Just go with the flow.
Yes.
Go with the flow. And that knocked my socks off.
It is very important to truly remember that we have the power of choice. We don't have to experience disasters or dramas. We can maintain an inner peace within ourselves and allow others to go whatever they need to go through and not judge that, but it's important for ourselves to decide what do we really want to experience at this point. And it does not have to be so painful. We can make a difference by radiating out that peace into the world.
You know, one thing that I want to point out is that this is very new, but there's a lot of people waiting for the grand ascension to take place. We're going to be in the fifth dimension. You know, well, let me tell you, in the past 2 months, we are in the fifth dimension. I have watched it take place, starting one chakra at a time, starting at the top, working its way down as mankind could handle the energy, working its way down to the next chakra. We are fully in the fifth dimension now. Don't let anybody tell you different. Now, there were a lot of burnout chakras that happened from this energy. So what I'm going to advise everybody to do is just, in your nightly prayers to God, just ask Him to fix any physical challenges, replace those burnout chakras, and secondary chakras, and whatever it is we need. But trust me, the heavenly team that each of us have is on the job. They're taking care of it anyway, but it doesn't hurt for you to acknowledge it. Maybe it will speed it up, make sure it gets done.
You just heard the Master Saint Germain deliver a message. Right now in this secular world that we live in, you find that people are, certain groups are waiting for the end times, certain groups are trying to push the end times. It doesn't have to be that way. All right, you create, you know, what you feel, and if you're going to knuckle under to something that was written 3,000 years ago, you know, and believe that the end times are coming, you most certainly are going to bring it around, but you're going to bring it around for you.
Yes, believe in your heart that everything is well. God has it all under control, and just stay in faith and keep it there. Keep it there.
Yeah, everything's divine timing.
Right.
And you always you can always be at the right place at the right time, you know, and I find it fascinating when I just randomly run into people that maybe I haven't seen in a while, or, you know, you go in somewhere and you quick run back to your car and you forgot something and you go back, and just in those few minutes you might bump into somebody you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And you have that conversation and it changes their perspective on something. And it's just, you can't make this stuff up.
Oh, I know.
It's not just coincidence. I mean, we're just put at the right place at the right time, And even when you're late for something, you can be so hard on being yourself late, but you might be late and you just avoided a car accident, or you're late because you're supposed to walk in the door at that certain time. So
Synchronicity.
yeah, that's a big one.
You know, one of the things that I've noticed in my observation and watching as we went into the fifth dimension, unbeknownst to most people, they talk about how we're becoming one. How we're becoming one. And it's so, I mean, I don't know if you can feel it, but what happens is the energy from like mid-body up has already started to merge into the whole. And we will continue until the whole body is merged into the one. So the process is almost complete. So have no fear, live in faith, be happy. And I think we're wrapping up now. So we want to, first things before we forget is to thank you, Brigitte.
Oh, thank you for inviting us.
And thank you, St. Germain.
Absolutely, yes.
And thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And of course, Archangel Michael and Jeshua, who's always in attendance. They're all here. And, you know, there's tons and tons of beings here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've been getting touched left and right. Left and right.
So we only have a few minutes left. I guess we should thank everybody, right?
We have 2 minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes left, so.
Okay, well, we could start thanking everybody. We
Yeah.
thank our crew, who is always amazing, best crew. And our facilities here at CTV in Staten Island. And our sponsors, Antonio's Pork Store in Tauntonville, and Aardvark Pest Control in Great Kills.
You know, one other thing I was just thinking about, you know, this music and the energy of St. Germain and the Masters and our energy here, you know, as you're listening to this is healing. And I would imagine that each time people listen to the show, they're going to receive healing from the intuitive music, healing through the intuitive music and the energies of the Masters here with us and so forth. So, you know, I invite you to partake.
And you receive something that you carry out into the world, really. Think about that you're not only receiving it for your own self, you're being used as an instrument of the hierarchy of light out in the world when you receive these gifts. So it always continues on. So when you are in a store, when you are meeting people, when you are on the road, you're sharing this love, you're sharing this essence that you received. So I invite you to very much become conscious of who you are, that you're always a healer, you're always making a difference. With every word, with every action, you make a difference. And to own that. Doesn't make a difference whether you ever learned any healing modality. You're a profound instrument of the light.
Okay, we got to wrap it up.
So, once again, thanks, and everybody. And you can go to Mike's website for the music, and I imagine you have your website on as well.
Yes.
All right,
On
so
the things.
we'll say good night to everyone.
So-
If you want to find out about this music and everything, you can contact us at our email addresses that are on the thing, and we will get you the information.
So, night-night. See you
Night.
next time.